Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Rise of the Podcast. And this time, when I say welcome back, I mean me. I'm Jeremy, and I'm back from banishment.
I guess we allowed him back. I'm Kara.
I'm disappointed that Jeremy's here. And I'm Brownie.
Jeez, guys, it has
That
been
was a long intro for yourself.
I know it was. It's like one of those speakers before somebody, and this person has this accomplishment, this accomplishment, this accomplishment.
And I'm the Nobel laureate and the dean of sausages.
And then the person comes in, they're like, and this is everything that I've done. Thank you for that nice introduction.
The Jeremy doesn't know why you're picking on him so much.
Because you're back and it's been like 5 weeks
yeah,
since
we got all
been
this
able
pent-up rage we need to just express on you.
Apparently. I can re-banish like that.
Yay!
More subs!
No, and it's good to be back.
No,
it is good to be back. I've had to sit and watch from the sidelines and actually watch the podcast like Chris says I never do. Thinking
now be honest.
I've watched everyone but the most recent one.
I was going to say, you have not watched the most recent one.
Because I haven't had any time. I've been too busy producing stuff for the channel.
When he says he's producing
hilarious.
stuff for the channel, it was the last 20 minutes before we came down here.
I think he was busy producing trips to the Sarlacc pit.
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, anyways, I was away for work. That is why I was gone. I was away from work. And while I was away, I made Kara very sad because I took a road trip to Galaxy's Edge in Orlando, Florida. And it was awesome. So now I can officially say I have been both to Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and Disney World.
You know what his wife can't say? I can't say I've been to Disney World.
I thought you were going to say that I actually love him.
I'll tell you what, I was pretty salty when he told me, he was like, yeah, I'm going to Disney World. And I'm like, you going to Disney World? I'm stuck up here in this frozen wasteland. I haven't done anything fun in weeks.
Oh, it was 76 and sunny. It was gorgeous when I went. Anyways.
Why did we let him back on this show?
I don't know. Chris, do you want to go to Disney World and we'll leave him up here?
Yeah, Jeremy, you got to do the podcast while we're gone.
By yourself.
No, so when I was a kid, I had always dreamed about going to Disney World, and we talked when we went to Disneyland how awesome and exciting it was that, we finally got to go. Well, I have now been to Disney World and Disneyland, and I have to say, I always heard Disney World was better, and maybe it is. But for me personally, I think Disneyland's the way to go. And at least, maybe for Star Wars fans. So I just assumed, and you know what assumption means. So there's Epcot and Magic Kingdom and Universal Studios or Hollywood Studios. And so these are all separate parks, right?
Yep.
And so when we went to Disneyland, you've got the Magic Kingdom, and then you've got like the ride side of the park. So you go through downtown. What's that outer
Disney's
area?
California Adventure. Downtown Disney.
Downtown Disney.
Downtown Disney. Don't need a ticket for.
Downtown Disney is fantastic.
It's really cool.
Like, I would recommend going to that.
It's free.
It makes for a real long walk when you just want to go to Galaxy's Edge.
Did I ever tell you how long it was from our hotel to Galaxy's Edge?
I thought you said
2 miles, wasn't it?
2 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 miles.
It was a mile to get to the start, and then it was like 0.9 miles to get.
There was that one day, Jeremy and I
went back and forth.
Went back. There.
Yeah, I waited
back,
at I ordered like a $19 soda and just waited at one of the tables.
I think that day we ended up walking like 10 or 12 miles.
Yeah, we totally did. I'll tell you guys some comparisons and some stories and stuff.
So I haven't been to Galaxy's Edge, but I have been to Disney World and Disneyland now too.
What did you think?
Well, so I don't like Florida weather.
True.
Is the thing. So like, not that it was hot. It was particularly one of the days when we were in Anaheim.
But it's more of dry heat.
Yeah, well, it's like people say like the dry heat or whatever. I say it's fairly comparable to like Minnesota, whereas like Florida is like Minnesota with 400% humidity.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like no matter what you do, it's like it could be 65 degrees, but it still is like just the worst because it's so freaking humid.
It feels like somebody wrapped you like in a wet, just damp blanket, and you're like. Ugh.
But so I think Disney World has a lot more variety of things to experience.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So when I went as part of a band trip, and so we had like the park hopper thing, and I did a bunch of stuff at all the places, and it was super awesome. And I wish I had more time there to do stuff. And I was kind of thinking the same thing because I think we had the park hopper passes as well.
We did. We just didn't go to the one side.
Yeah, we didn't go to the rides.
No.
Also, like the rides aren't normally robust enough for me to deal with anyway. So I like the rides, but
Right.
but like I in neither place did I go to the Magic Kingdom for very long.
Right.
So that's something that I think is kind of on my bucket list now to sort of cross off. But it's like there's enough stuff that's different about them that I don't even really consider them like really the same place or same type of experiences. Like you can go to either one and have completely different experiences.
That's true, because my experience at Disney World was way different than the one at Disneyland. It was
I would like to
completely
go
different.
there, like just to experience it, and like you said, there is more to do. Like
Epcot is my favorite park.
Somebody told me to go to Epcot.
Straight up, Epcot is and it's not the most popular one. People are gonna be like, "Ooh, Epcot nerd." Everything there. They had this like space shuttle simulator ride thing or whatever,
cool.
and it was it was kind of like I think similar technology to like how they did the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run thing.
Yep.
But like it was super cool. It was really really fun.
That's pretty
The Tower of Terror is super dope. That's that's not in Epcot.
I was gonna say, isn't that in Valley Fair? Isn't Tower of Terror in Valley Fair?
It's in Disney. No, it's in Disney.
No, not the Tower of Terror. It's
World.
the
That's
drop
the Power
thing.
Tower.
Power Tower. Thank you. Sorry.
But yeah, anyway, so there's this like there's like if you're just looking for like maximum number of things to do, you go to Disney World.
Right.
But like I think Disneyland has like because it's first, like it's older, it feels older too.
Yeah.
And it's like it feels like there's like a more of a history thing than old timey like 1800s thing that we had to cut through.
Pioneerland.
That was pretty neat. Like I kind of wouldn't have minded poking around there a little bit more.
Right.
Too.
It was fun. It was fun shooting off the little at the graveyard.
yeah.
Just pew pew pew.
Yeah, it was cool, and
I
and
like that.
yeah, the interactions that they put in that game, specifically the shoot 'em game or whatever, it was really fun. But so here's what I know. So we're driving down there, me and my coworker Derek, and we look and we see a billboard, and it was like Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios, and I was like, there's exits for everything. So there's an exit for Epcot, there's an exit for Hollywood Studios.
Really?
Yeah. They have a part of the freeway that is just for Disney World.
I think isn't it called like the Disney Expressway or something like that?
Yeah, when you start getting close to it. So we decided to make the last ditch effort. We're like, okay, we're gonna go to Hollywood Studios because that's what the billboard says. And so when you go to Disneyland, I mean, Galaxy's Edge is in the Magic Kingdom part of the park because you have Main.
Is it called the Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, Main Street USA.
Yeah, it's Main Street USA.
And then you have like the Magic Castle, and then you have all the stuff around it. And then, but we just went
Cinderella's
to Galaxy's
Castle?
Edge. So when you go to Hollywood Studios, it's way different because they have like the theater and the Indiana Jones temple. They have
The Temple of Doom is there?
it's like Indiana Jones temple. It's like the Raiders of the Lost Ark temple.
Oh.
Because they have a ride where you go away from the ball. Although the one ride, so I didn't do any rides either. Derek didn't want to do any rides, but I guess the Rock and Roll Coaster is
amazing.
it's supposed to be awesome, and I didn't do it.
It's one of the funnest roller coasters I've ever been on.
That's what people were saying. They're like, "Oh, dude, you should have did it." Because you walk into it, and it's got the guitar strings come way off the building, and they go above your head. Not the ride part, but just the atmosphere, and they come across, and you got like a giant guitar fret or neck above your head as you walk in, and you kind of follow it. And then when you go, I guess it starts you off slow, and it just skyrockets you down, and you just go full speed through. And it's playing music and being crazy, and it's supposed to be really cool.
It's super fun.
But as far as Hollywood Studios go, it's much smaller than Disneyland's Magical Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was expecting, because you go to Disney World or Disneyland and it's part of the Magic Kingdom, I was just assuming. So I was surprised that it was different.
Interesting.
So the overall park is smaller. So it's a much closer walk. Like you go straight, you take a left, and then you're basically right into Galaxy's Edge. So you're right there. The other frustrating thing is when we went to Disneyland, Savvy's workshop to build the lightsabers, you reserved the day of. They like freaking allow future reservations. So my coworker wanted to build a lightsaber, and I was super excited. I'm like, he's going to spend the money. I get to go in as a guest. I get to see through that experience again.
Mm-hmm.
Really want to see like what element is he going to pick? How is he going to do it? Nope. Good luck getting in there for the next 3 months. And it's like, who knows they're going to go to Disney in 3 months? Maybe 25% of the part. Like, how many people go there just expecting to go there for the
So
day?
you can reserve 3 months ahead of time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you can't get in unless you have that reservation.
Do you need to have a ticket to be able to make the reservation? Or
Not for Savvy's workshop.
That's
See, you
And
should
then-
have to. You should have to have a ticket.
yeah, like proof that you're going to be there.
Yeah.
And then Rise of the Resistance, you can't make the reservation until you're in the park. And
So
the park
that's what I've heard. Like a lot of people would line up a half hour before Disney World even opened. They would line up.
So for us,
to get in there.
we were driving there, and it was a couple hour drive from where we were. So we were driving there, and it's like, we're not going to ever be able to do Rise of the... Not that I could do it anyways.
I was going to say, there was a stipulation with Jeremy going. I said, if you ride Rise of the Resistance without me, like, there will be hell to pay when you get home. Like, do not ride that without me. I quit Rise of the Podcast, suckers.
So I didn't get to do Rise of the Resistance. So then I was like, all right. I saw this awesome article. So you heard about the Spork disaster when we were out in Disneyland, right? They used to serve these Sporks.
Everyone was stealing.
Everyone was stealing them. So they said, all right, we're going to sell them. $10 a Spork. For a metal, one piece of silverware, but $10, right? Awesome. Wanted one super bad. And when we went to Disneyland, some people, you could easily break them out of character. And some people were a little committed. So this guy I go talk to, I'm like, hello, sir, I'm looking for this Spork. And he's like, Rising Suns. And I was like, I'm looking for this. And he goes, sir, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, I would like to buy this Spork. I heard it was for sale. And he's like, good day to you, sir, but I don't recognize that. I'm like, can you please help me? I just really want to buy this. And he goes, think about it. It must be in some other land that's not Batu here. So I walk over and ask another lady, and she's like, oh yeah, that's only sold at Disneyland. I was like, oh, curse you for not breaking character and trying to act, like, so he was really leaning into it.
So like, it's whenever I experience that, like, it's nice for immersion.
Yes.
At the same time, if you legitimately just like want to cut to the chase,
I know.
I like you guys aren't the British Royal Guard or whatever,
Right.
You know, so it's just like
it's okay to break character. And then when we went, they did the stupid thing where you couldn't buy the lightsaber crystals, and then the guy at Disneyland tried to tell me there wasn't enough color, or like there was only the red and green or whatever colors and blue. So I go here, and it was a little refreshing because they had blue and they had white, and they had purple, white, and yellow all for sale. Green? I built mine with green. That's where we got the green.
That's right. Okay.
So, but in Savvy's workshop, you could just go up or in the Emporium of Antiques, Doc Ondor's, you could just go up and then look at the lightsabers, right? Do you remember that?
Yep.
Nope. Now they have a line that zigzags back and forth throughout the entire store, which ruins shopping in there, and then it goes outside and goes down around the corner. So you have to wait in line just to look at them, whether you're going to buy one or not.
Jeez.
So Derek's like, well, I can't build one. I'll just buy one. And so we had to wait in line to do that. And that was a little interesting.
So Jeremy called me up. He was like, Kara, I really want to buy one. I don't know if I should buy Ben's or if I should buy the Reforged one. Which one should I buy? I was like, both of them.
Good.
How many lightsabers do you own now?
5-ish, 6-ish.
From Disney?
7.
So,
well, Kara and I each made one.
Yep. And then we've got Ahsoka's, which technically is 2. And then we got the Reforged Ben's. And didn't we buy one, or did we just buy the mall one for Rich?
We bought the mall one from Rich. No, because we didn't buy one. We did not buy a
Because we were going to
one.
go to buy Ahsoka's, and we didn't. We weren't able to.
And then I have my old Vader and my Mace Windu and my Luke. So I have 9 lightsabers.
How many hands do you have?
Not enough.
Jeremy's like, I will become General Grievous.
This will make a fine addition to
like
my collection.
The meme where it's like Grievous and
Yes.
Good Grief.
Griefy, Grievous, and Good Grief. Yeah.
Jeremy's got enough lightsabers to be Good Grief.
Yes.
What was I going to say, though? We were talking about the lightsabers.
Ahsoka's not buying them. Ben's, Kylo Ren's.
They came out with an updated Ahsoka lightsaber.
Yes. Yeah. And so
what is the? I didn't see what the update is.
So we watched a video of a guy who compared the two. He brought his original ones to Disney to just compare the two. The new ones are thinner, so they're not as bulky, because like they're bulky.
Yeah.
I carried them around today at the troop, and then the colors are a little bit different. So like the inlays.
Ahsoka's are supposed to be reversed. So one's silver with black inlays, and then the other one's or dark gray with silver inlay. They're just supposed to be mirrored of each other.
Okay.
And Kara's are the same. They're both silver with the gray inlay.
Yep.
Oh, the details.
So I might have to buy some more.
No, that means the ones she has are now discontinued and are worth more than the ones that you can get now.
I'm just saying, we'll keep the other ones too.
No, we don't need 4 Ahsoka lightsabers. How many hands do you have?
Okay, here's the thing. Of the 9 lightsabers we have, 3 are mine. Which means 6 are Jeremy's. 6.
I think the important number here is that I have
When you went with us, Chris, do you remember Kara's favorite drink? She was obsessed with
Fuzzy Tauntaun.
Meiluran juice.
Oh.
Her drink was the fuzzy tauntaun. So I couldn't get into the bar either because of the whole stupid reservation thing. And then they have different food items and drinks. So Orlando does not sell Meiluran juice. They sell other ones. And then, so that's funny to me. So they do at least do the
I
blue
told
and
Jeremy,
green
I was
milk.
like, well, that's that. Guess I'm not going to Disney World anytime soon. I need my Meiluran juice.
So that was interesting to me. So I was bummed out. So we didn't get to do the cantina. Derek didn't want to fly the Millennium Falcon because then he felt bad. He's like, I should really be here with my family, and then I want to experience all these things with my
Apparently,
family.
his mom is like a super Star Wars nerd.
Super Star Wars fan. And then he purposely didn't watch Rise of the Skywalker without his mom, and then he got back to like watch it with her, and then she went and saw it without him.
Oh.
He's like, Mom, you want to go see Rise of the Skywalker? And she's like, I already saw it. He's like, what? I waited for you just to watch it. So burned by your own mother. So yeah, I was literally blown away at the differences. I would have loved to check out like Epcot and then go see the other parks, but it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money to do that.
Do they have military discount down there for you?
They do, but it was only on a 4-day park hopper pass.
Of course, and you guys are just there for one day.
So it was like, whatever. And I'm envious of the people who live in and around either Disney World or Disneyland because I looked up the annual pass holder, and if you buy the basic, it's $600 for the year. But that is a tremendous deal because per adult, one day non-park hopper is $110. So
Well, that's not $600 for the year.
So you could go if you go more than 6
$50
times.
a month?
Yeah. If you go,
That's not bad.
No. And could you imagine like taking your kids all the time? That's how people afford to go there. Because I'm like, how does everybody afford to go there? And it's because they have these. Anyways, there is blackout dates. So like during Star Wars
why everyone
celebrations.
was like talking about like Galaxy's Edges, whatever. They blacked out the season ticket holders and everything.
Yeah, for the first how many ever months.
Yeah. So like that was part of the thing. It's like if a big wedge of your core patrons aren't able to access it, obviously the numbers are going to be lower.
Yeah.
Yep. And so that was a thing that I saw too. So that was pretty interesting. But it was really fun. It was I love going there. I could live there. I really would love a job as a stormtrooper there. I think that would be the funnest thing.
See, here's
I think
the
they make
thing.
like $10 an hour.
They probably only
That's
do.
okay, but it's the experience. Disney, we are the right height for stormtroopers. Please hire us.
Yeah. I'll do
I'll
a
do
summer
it.
there.
I'm a little short for a story.
Yeah, and then so it was just really good to be back there, and the stormtroopers were on point. Okay, hilarious story. So we come out. Oh, and the droid building was insane. There was a line ends here, X amount of weight sign lady directing people to build droids in the Droid Depot.
It was like empty when we went to Disney.
I know,
But we were in Disneyland.
Yeah.
My mind is blown. You got to think about all the lightsabers they kick out of there every day, and all of the droids that they kick out of there every day.
They've had to have paid for Galaxy's Edge at this point.
Well, here's the thing. All the plastic and it's like just so much consumption. I can't believe it. But there's everybody out there that, wants like people like me who I want to participate in it.
Well, I know we were upset. Like they were sold out of Ahsoka's lightsaber, and there was another one they were sold out of when we were.
Yeah,
at
they
Disneyland.
weren't like
I
even
remember
with all
being
the lines.
upset, but like people want that stuff.
Right. We got the droids and we couldn't take them out. Remember that?
Yep.
They have a droid play area now. So that at least they fixed that.
They have
Can you bring
backpack.
your droids?
They have a
I
backpack
probably-
that you can buy with the little face
You
area on
unzip
it,
it and then it just
and your little
it just-
droid's face can stick out and interact with other droids.
Is this backpack like $125?
50.
You know who didn't buy it for me?
She said it was a lot of money.
$50 for a droid backpack seems a little ridiculous to me.
Oh.
I can make my own.
Okay,
Fine.
they had a porg, a puppet porg that you put your hand in and it's got a lever. And so one side controls the wings and the other side controls the mouth and speaker. So you can, like go and he flaps and stuff. It's $50.
That's pretty ridiculous.
How much is the Kowakian monkey lizard? Because I remember I told you that was like the one thing I was like, I want the Kowakian monkey lizard.
There's a lot of money too. And then I bought Sabak. Okay, because when we went, Chris, Sabak was sold out.
And the
chance dice were sold out. I got my chance dice. I got my Sabak cards. I get back. There's supposed to be 62 cards in the deck or 64. I had 50. They shorted me 14 cards. Then get this, I emailed them.
Oh, okay.
I emailed them, and I emailed them. Didn't get a response for 2 days. I called. The lady says you have to email us, and I said I already did. So she found my email, which was really cool. She goes, "Oh, you didn't do it correctly." I was like, "What do you mean I didn't do it correctly?" And she goes, "You have to include a picture of the discrepancy. It's missing cards. How do you want me to depict that?"
Yeah, just take a picture of nothing. You're like, here's the cards.
Here's what you do to troll them. Take a picture of each individual card. So there are 50 different pictures in that
What
email
I
file.
did do was fan them all out with the directions, and I took one picture like that, and then I pointed to the directions on which cards were missing. And I finally got an email back like 3 weeks later that said they're good to go. They're going to do the return.
But we have to return the other ones.
I got to ship the older ones back.
What? Can't they just send you the 14 cards?
I don't know. It's not
So
that hard.
here's the BS part. They should not make you return it anyway.
I know.
Right,
How much were the cards?
$20.
$20? They can eat $20 because they screwed you over.
I
Do you know how
know.
much it costs to make that?
Are they
$1? Yeah.
Are they paying the shipping at least for you to send
Yes.
it back?
Okay.
So they gave me a thing that was like a prepaid label, and I just got to go to any UPS store, and then they'll take them back and ship them back. But
Have you done that yet?
When
I did tell Derek, I was like, you can play the Sabak without it because it's plus or minus. And it was missing the Sabak cards, the 0 cards, which are the most important cards, but you can still play it. So I just assumed, I was like, I doubt they're going to make me send it back. So I was going to give Derek the incomplete set, but now I got to ship them back. So
we've got a set of these Rode wireless Go's at work, and like we were having problems with them or whatever, and I had to send them in. And then like, oh yeah, it's like send them in, we'll take a little bit or whatever. And I was like, okay, so you're gonna send me some like shipping information or anything? And they're like, no, you got to pay to. I had to pay to send them in for them to send me. They had to send us a new set because the set that we had they didn't even understand what was wrong with them. They're like, oh, like I was describing the thing, I was taking pictures, showing them all the stuff and how
Right.
they're operating. And they're like, we have no idea what's going on with these, so we need you to send them in. And I was like, at that point, I was like, if it's so like broken on like a software side, because that's what it was, like they were physically fine.
right.
And it's like, I think that's like you guys should pay to ship these.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's on them 100%.
But yeah, so like we had to pay the shipping to send them down there.
You know what you do? You put it in a padded envelope, like the smallest, tiniest padded envelope, and ship it.
Well, yeah. Well, if it gets broken on shipping, then I get screwed though. So.
Anyways, I was talking about Stormtroopers, and I really, really wish I could repeat the interaction word for word. But Stormtroopers, 2 of them, one leader walked up to a elderly woman in a wheelchair or like a scooter type chair, and they were harassing her to the point where I felt bad for the woman because of how much they're like, "What are you doing? Who are you working for? Blah, blah, blah." And she just looked at him and she couldn't believe they were doing this. And then she really got into it and she played along. And so the Stormtrooper's like leaning over, getting in her face. So she like waves her hand in front of him, like, "Get away from me, blah, blah, blah." And then she said she was like going to tell their boss on him. She was going to tell Vader that they were harassing her or something. They were bugging her. And he said something to her like along the lines of, and I could not believe that this was, because I still am convinced it's all pre-recorded speech because they all sound exactly the same. Unless their voice changer is that good. But he said something along the lines of, "Lady, I don't care who you are, but you will never be in command," or something like that. Like, just ripped her heart. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was the funniest thing. Like,
Didn't you say she used the full?
oh, that's what it was. She's like, "You will leave me alone." and he said something in regards to her. "Thank you." Like, "I am not that weak-minded," and like, "Your Jedi powers are weak," or something like that, and like just ripped her for doing
Your
that.
Jedi powers are as weak as your legs.
Yeah, right. It was so funny, and I love that about the Stormtroopers. Their interactions are just the best. It is the coolest thing. So all in all, it was a really good experience. I was really bummed out I didn't get my Sporks. I was gonna buy one of those, and then I didn't get to go to the bar there and get another
Olga's Cantina.
And
The bar.
makes
Get
me
it right.
angry.
Just kidding.
Makes me angry.
I'm happy that you participate in capitalism and like to acquire things, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I could respect you if you spent $10 on a Spork.
I could respect him.
It's the
Novelty of it.
So here's the thing, like, so this is where I think that it sort of breaks down for me. Like, the lightsabers are iconic enough that,
Right.
like, I think their value will be retained. people can look at a lightsaber and know that it's Star Wars memorabilia
Right.
and associate inherent value to it, right?
Right.
Someone looks at one of these sporks and they're gonna throw it in the trash because it's a spork.
They were metal though, weren't
Yeah,
they?
they're metal.
The
They're
point, I think,
metal.
still
They
stands.
kind of look like the Millennium Falcon. My only hope would be if they were sold for a limited time. Not that it's going to happen. Like if they did it and then they changed their mind, there could be some value there in the future. Like when I'm old and I go on the Antiques Roadshow and I like bring in my Spork and they're like, oh, this was the Galaxy's Edge Spork that was only sold for a week.
I like my other thing is like you can display a lightsaber, right? If you display a spork, no matter if everybody could know exactly what it is, you still look like a lunatic displaying a spork.
I want to do it.
So it's either that or it's gonna sit in a drawer.
I
Like,
want
it's-
to. I want to
gonna
either do
say-
like a cosplay as the Spork now to get into the Star Wars celebration or something, just to make it cool.
Have you watched Toy Story 4?
No.
Sporky.
The whole premise is around a spork.
It is. It's
A
funny.
plastic spork.
Yeah, he's like made into a toy or whatever, and that's
Yeah.
what gives him life. And
It's super funny
whatever.
though. He's like, I am trash.
Yeah, he knows he's trash and he tries to throw himself out.
Like he was trying to crawl into the garbage. Super funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Disney. Sorry.
So the Spork, like I don't know why I want one. It's one of those things. It's the whole premise that I couldn't have one and people were stealing them. So obviously it's coveted by people. So
Some
the fact-
people, not me.
Well, you wouldn't be one. You'd be like, oh, this is a fine Spork. I'm glad they gave me the convenience of a fork and a spoon all in one. Thank you, Galaxy's Edge. And you'd leave it. Other
No,
people
you're
are like,
absolutely correct. I'm not. So actually, I do have a story about me stealing something from a Disney. We went to the Hard Rock Cafe, and I stole my plate.
did you really?
I literally, it's in my bedroom right now at my house.
Where you're like,
That's so funny.
Where'd you-
And, I literally, so like I just got like a burger or whatever, right?
Right.
So I just took a napkin and I wiped it off, and I had like a bag with other stuff, just like poop in the bag.
I mean, I know like the restaurant industry has, I mean, tons of people do it. People steal salt and pepper shakers. People steal.
Yeah, see, I
everything.
didn't steal
It's like,
anything cool. It's like this plate literally could be a plate from anywhere. It's just like a big white plate with a blue stripe around it. That's
Oh, so it doesn't even say Hard Rock Cafe.
nope. It's just a plate.
Back in your rogue years.
So yeah.
Chris is such a rebel.
Hey, he's a rebel without a cause.
That's. I think I'm trying to think. Yeah, like I never stole like a pint glass or anything. It's just like
Oh
a
man,
plate.
a lot of people steal pint glasses. That's a thing that they do.
So at Bubba Gumps, if you get certain alcoholic beverages, they give you the pint glass.
Yeah,
So when
why
I was
even beat
in-
around the bush? Just we know you're
Yeah.
gonna steal this. Here you go.
When I was in Monterey visiting Kirsten, we stopped at Bubba Gumps and I got myself a blue delicious drink. And they gave me my cup and wrapped it up for me, cleaned it out, wrapped it up, sent it home with me. It's delightful. And we
That's-
still have it, and now it's the bane of Jeremy's existence.
Is it like hard to clean or something?
Okay, so it's tall. It's taller than every other glass
It's
that we
not
own.
that tall.
No, it's tall.
It's tall. It's probably like this tall.
From the
Jeremy's
floor?
like, it's this tall, right?
It's this much flavor packed into this little cookie.
Is that the same pitch you gave her?
Yes, it's this. Yeah, I did actually. But no, and then it's narrow at the bottom,
like
and then
a pint glass,
it tapers up
like a beer glass, or
bulbous,
whatever.
and then it goes back in again. So it's soup. It doesn't fit in the dishwasher well. It doesn't fit in the sink well. It doesn't fit in the cabinet well. It doesn't fit above the cabinet well because it's too tall to go above the cabinet.
So one day to gauge how distraught I would be if my cup broke, he was like, Kara, I'm so sorry I accidentally broke your glass. And I was like, what?
If she was okay with it, I was going to break it. Like, oops. But no, she had to have emotional distress over alleged cup breaking.
It's
So
cute. It's the
Let it
Bubba
be.
Gump shrimp and it says Monterey underneath it. It's a cool cup. It's not a white plate with a blue rim around it.
My plate at least
So-
fits in the cabinet.
So, Kara, a lightsaber is really cool, but I don't see the appeal of a cup.
See, like this is where I am with the sporks. See,
I get it now.
We all have the things like so. This is the great thing about the world that we live in. People can be like anything that they want to like. I'm just gonna make fun of you for it.
I know, I get it. I don't know why I like the Spork either. It's just like, don't push the button, and then you push the button, you know? It's like,
It's just a novel thing. That's all. It's just,
Yeah.
you know.
And we've sort of had this conversation before. Like, I don't have any decorations or anything up in my house. Like, I don't display things.
Right.
I don't have tons of stuff. I just like I don't have a lot of space, so I kind of get like mounted in by like just the things that I already have. So
Right.
I just have never seen like a reason. Like for example, like hanging art on the wall or like photos or whatever,
Right.
Like, I know what my friends look like and my family looks like. I don't even, oh, that's what grandma looked like. Oh, I'm glad I have that photo up. And like, I'm not having guided tours through my house where I'm like, and here we have a photo from 1987 of my mom and her parents.
Right.
You know, so it's like because like the other reason that people like put stuff up is like as a conversation starter, and it's like I don't want to have to give a long dissertation on my family history because they see a portrait.
I think for with pictures though, it's supposed to evoke like certain feelings and memories. Like, how often do you actually think about your grandma?
Do you know my most
very
hated
often, I
thing?
guess.
See?
And when my mom watches this, she'll call me. I have caused emotional distress for my family because I am adamant to not take an old-timey photo. I hate them. I think they're the dumbest
No, I'm
thing.
okay.
Oh,
I
like
don't
when you
want
dress up like you're from the 1860s.
Yeah, and so you get you get the card and your garter if you're a woman, and then the man's got the pistol and the bandolier and the cowboy hat and the fake mustache. And you do it all to make the picture look. I hate old-timey photos. We've gone places and my family's like, oh, we're gonna do one, and everybody's on board except for me. And then I stick to my guns, and then no one does it because of me. Then they even try to be like, well, we're not going to have that photo because of you, and you're denying us an opportunity to have a family memory. And it's like, I don't want to do it.
But they'll remember you resisting.
They remember me resisting. I guarantee
Baby,
it.
don't worry. I will never ask you
Well,
to
so
take an old time
what if it was the
photo.
same scenario?
But Star Wars. I would do that.
I would do that too.
See, so it's not the concept; it's the era.
Yeah, I know. It's just
I'm not, like,
So if it was Han Solo's blaster and his vest and Leia's like slave bikini or something,
we did the caricature, and that was cool because the lady Star Wars-sized it.
That's true. Is that here? Or is
No,
that,
it's
no,
at
it's at our
home.
house.
It's
We're
at
trying to
home.
decide if we want to hang it up at home or if we want to hang it up down here.
Yeah. So yeah, the darn old timey photos. Those always just really grind my gears. But I would totally do it for a Star Wars.
They're cheesy.
All right, actually, so here's what we're gonna do. We'll see. Try and gauge our engagement with here. I'm gonna put up a poll. Should Jeremy and Kara do one of his hated old timey portraits?
no.
If you guys want to see Jeremy lose to the internet, vote yes.
I still have to put my tongue on a battery while Kara tries what?
No,
don't
I
know,
put
you
my
have to
tongue
get
on a
shocked
battery
by-
to get shocked by
dog collar.
Oliver's dog collar.
Easy. I'll do it.
On 8.
That's fine.
We're gonna do a Facebook Live.
Yep.
Oh, we
Facebook
need to
Live
talk.
on
We
it.
need to figure out our whole live setup thing because
I want to switch this over to being live. I really do. I want to cut down on the work for you. Plain and
So-
simple. Plain and simple.
Yeah, there's
Have you ever
there's
heard
a
of?
setup that I want. That
Okay, we'll talk after.
I was going to say, this is not podcast discussion, boys.
Yeah, well, no, because then we could be like, hey, we've got a Patreon that literally nobody has participated in yet. But
I know.
one of the perks we want to do for the Patreon is you can watch live as we're doing this and interact with us a little bit.
Oh,
and you get
answer
the podcast
questions.
a little bit early.
Yeah, I want to hear like Galaxy's Edge stories of Stormtrooper interactions and like Rey and Chewie interact. I'll never forget that Chewie interaction we
Yep,
had.
that was the coolest thing ever.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
That made it. There's a Chewbacca mode on the Galaxy's Edge Falcon
I
ride.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you messed up so many times?
Yeah, it'll Chewbacca will yell at you instead. But for other Star Wars news, I'll quit talking about Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Disneyland. What?
Are you going to talk about what we got today in the mail?
Oh man, what a bomb bad.
You got to tell the
Sith
whole story.
spit
You
Karen
have
Bass
to
disaster.
tell the whole story.
Would you get an electricity bill?
right.
If the podcast ever devolves to you just discussing the banal
So I
items that arrived
I
in
got
the mail,
bills in the mail today, guys.
You wouldn't believe it. I used some water, and the city had the audacity to charge me for it.
Oh, there's
How
a story
dare
about
you.
that too.
I've got a story.
no,
Okay, I'm going to tell a
let's start with
story.
the cool story.
Well, no, let's say the cool story because I have a story about water.
All right.
So 8th Street, after you had moved out, so it's me, my sister, and then Corey and his wife.
Yep.
Right? So what's one of the first things you do when you move into a space? Right?
Put the utilities in your name.
Well, yes, but you learn where your breaker box is, learn
Yep,
where your water,
water
shut
shut
off
off
is,
is, yep.
right? Gas shut off, all that
Yep.
stuff, right? Because in the event that something goes crazy, you don't want your house to explode or flood or start an electrical fire or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at work, and you probably remember this. I'm sure your dad was super mad about this.
I'm sure.
Corey goes to take a shower, and he busts the handle off the shower, and
yeah.
water's just shooting out of the shower. Just because unregulated now is just blasting out. And he doesn't know where the water shutoff is. He doesn't call me to ask. He tries calling Jerry. And like at 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever, he's like calling him or whatever.
Who takes a shower at 4
He had to be at work at like 5:30.
Oh,
He had an early shift or whatever.
Gotcha, okay.
So the water's just like blasting out, and he doesn't like it just goes for hours. And then finally, your dad gets a hold of him and tells him how to like shut the water off or whatever. We get a bill from the city of Cloquet for $600.
Wow.
That's how much water he let just blast out of the shower.
Oh my gosh. What was your average water bill?
Like $50, $60, not a whole lot.
They can legally investigate you for growing marijuana if you have a surge in your water bill.
Yeah. No, because I called the city and be like, hey, it's like this thing happened, blah, 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 whatever. And they don't care. They're like, yeah, you're going to have to pay the bill or whatever. And it's like, and so we set it for like prorated. So like our water bill was like $200 for like the next 5 months.
That's crazy. For people who own pools, I've heard that they'll have the fire department come and fill them rather than use your own water because of how much water you can consume or whatever.
That'd be smart. Yeah, my mom's got a pool.
Yeah,
maybe she should do that.
The fire department will come up and they'll pump up their tank and then they'll fill your thing for you and then you're good to go.
You give them like $20 or something.
It's cheaper than using the water utility bill. So two things really quickly.
Yeah, you don't have to deal with the fluoride then either, I guess. Unless do fire hydrants get fed by the water tower too?
I would guess so.
I guess they must probably.
Right.
Whatever.
What do you think is going to happen with fluoride touching your skin?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, why waste the fluoride if I'm just going to be like, splish, splash?
I'm taking a bath. Okay, so water bills. We're talking about bills, right? I'm going to get this. I'll do this quick.
We did it.
This is funny.
The prophecies come true.
Space taxes, space gas, and human bills.
So 2 things. We live in a really old house, and the city of Duluth is like, oh, hey, you guys, everybody's got to either reline or replace their water pipe.
Yeah.
So we have to have it done. I just got the notice in the mail. We have 90 days to do it that quickly. And like, I'm freaking out now because I got to make sure I get it done. If we do not comply with the 90 days, they're going to add $250 a month to our water bill.
Dang.
That's how they're going to that's how like serious they are about getting you to comply. Like if we do not receive notice with it, complied with whatever.
Well, they told us at the worst possible time because like the ground is beginning to freeze. It was beginning to freeze when we first found out.
And then if the letters
are
going out to everybody, all the contractors are going to start getting booked.
I thought didn't you bring this up? I thought you were telling me about this like last summer that it was going to happen.
Yeah. But we couldn't do it until because there's a grant for a portion of it so that it'll help pay 80% of it up to the like whatever amount. And but they said it can't be done in 2019. It has to be done in 2020. And he said you have to wait for this letter. And then so we got the letter now and we could go ahead. But it's like 90 days. That's it. That's all you're gonna like not even till the end of the summer, unless they're staggering the letters going out. But okay, next water story. Corey knocking the thing off, right?
Yeah.
So I was down in government building, right? Problems with the left hand not talking to the right. So these guys go to use the bathroom and the water's off. And so they go to where the water shutoff is and they turn it on. All of a sudden water starts pouring out of the walls. So in this building, they had an on-demand water heater that the maintenance people removed and they shut the water off and they removed it. They didn't cap off the lines.
Oh my god.
They left them open. So when they turned the water back on, all of this water came flooding out. And like
goodness.
It was pouring out of like the ceiling tiles and pouring onto the wall and everything because where the connection was, it just water went everywhere. And I like heard the story and I'm like, what is wrong with people? If you're going to shut the water off and not cap it, you lock it out is what you do. You put a thing around it and you physically lock it so it can't be turned back on. Yeah. Or you cap it. Either one.
I mean, I feel like best practices would be if you're going to disconnect something from something that's part of a circuit or a system, you'd make it so that if somebody turns it back on, it works.
Right. People need to wash their hands and go to the bathroom and whatever. And it was just like a restroom inside of a building, so it didn't have a shower or anything. But it's just, toilets and faucets. You need those things. So it's not like you can leave it off.
So they not have hot water?
Well, they would have had hot water, and they would not have had hot water if they would have plumbed it back together until they could replace the hot water heater. But
gotcha. They were waiting to replace the.
They were waiting to replace the hot water heater, and it was like I couldn't believe that happened.
Jeez.
But there's all right. So anybody who's watching, who's going to Galaxy's Edge, who's going to the Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim in August, Disney announced Star Wars After Dark.
Disney After Dark.
Disney After Dark.
Star Wars night.
Star Wars night. And they'll do like Pixar, like Toy Story night or Pixar night. They'll do themed nights, and I guess none of the events ever sell out. There's still tickets for ones that are upcoming, and of course, Star Wars went up for sale. And I got online, I don't know, maybe an hour after tickets were up for sale, and bought the ticket, and I got an email that my purchase is processing. 4 hours later, I got an email that it didn't go through. So we hop online and we're looking, and a lot of people are really bummed out because they were getting this thing that, hey, my purchase didn't go through, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, a lot of the exact same stories.
A lot of the exact same stories. And they're like, hey, if you get that phone call from this number, make sure you answer it.
Well, you called them, didn't you?
And
And
I
they were
called
like,
them and
sorry,
they-
there's nothing we can do.
Yep.
You didn't get through.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If it didn't complete, sorry. So I'm sitting there the other night. This is a week after I went to buy the tickets. And I get my caller ID pops up. And for me, it didn't pop up as a number. It popped up as Minnie's Bar and Grill. And I was like, well, what is this? So I answer it. And I put it up to my ear. And I was listening. And no one said anything. So I was like, click. Whatever, right? So no voicemail. Whatever, I didn't say hello for whatever stupid. I was waiting for them to say hello.
Well, yeah,
you
no,
called
no,
me.
I do the same thing. If I am expecting a phone call and like any phone number that I don't recognize, I'll hear the thing, and usually the person on the other, if there is a person,
Yeah.
will be like, hello, or something, and then I'll be like, oh, it's a real person.
Yep.
But otherwise it'll either be a robocall will start right away,
Yep,
or
and
you'll
I'll-
hear like just like the dead silence, and then it'll just disconnect.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Yeah. So I do the same strategy. You can't trust people on the phone anymore.
No, so I Google search Minnie's Bar and Grill, and it immediately pops up with Minnie Mouse Bar and Grill Saloon, downtown Disney, USA. I was like, oh, I missed the call. And so I tried calling the number back, and it was like, sorry, you have to call the generic 1-800 number for Disney. And I didn't know what to say. Luckily, like 5 minutes later, I get an email, and it says, hey, we want our contact you about a recent purchase you made. Please call us back and request a supervisor. And I did the process, and I had to wait on hold they said, 20 minutes. And I had to wait on hold for 40 minutes. But I finally got a hold of the lady, and she said, sir, we're calling you. We want to let you know, since you got a processing email, you are still eligible to purchase the amount of tickets you tried to buy at the original time. So she goes, was 3. Would you still like the 3 tickets? And I said, yes. She goes, now I need you to know if you're willing to pay an additional fee of $5 to still get your tickets, because we have to mail them to you. And I was like, yes.
How heavy are these tickets if it costs $5 to mail them? Stamps, what, 55 cents?
Right?
Yep.
Just saying. Just
I know. And they came.
$1.65 worth of postage is $5 at Disney.
They came as standard envelope, A4 or whatever the standard envelope size is. So they came and we got our tickets. They showed up. Woo. So I am very excited to go to that. And I seriously was dreaming. I was watching people post that they got their tickets, and I was like, I am not over exaggerating here. I went like, I wonder what it would be like to be able to go to that event.
Me too.
What would it be like? It'd be so cool because you
Yeah.
can cosplay.
You can
It
go
goes
in
to 1 in the
costume
morning.
to Disney. Like,
You don't
I'm
get
going
to
to walk
put together
around
like
that
a
too as freaking Ahsoka.
Snap Wexley outfit or something.
Right.
I'm so excited.
I should do a job in the hut and make you guys push me around on a big.
Well, Kara already said if I dress up as either like Rex or I would love to, and I don't think it's in my realm of creative abilities,
course
but I
it
would
is.
love to do C-3PO. I would love to do old 3PO. And Kara's like, you realize if you do C-3PO, 3CPO, and I'm Ahsoka, she's like, we need a dedicated handler. We need a person to follow us around and to hold our stuff.
Because like
and blah, 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 blah.
Jeremy, there's like, what, 30 pieces
And Kara
that
said-
goes into C-3PO?
It can't be Chris because you're already going to be busy.
Yep.
Well,
And
shooting
so
and stuff.
I volunteered. I was like, Ryan will do it. I was like, we'll have Ryan do it.
Well, you'll be there in your Java costume.
Yeah.
You'll be recording everything. We'll be walking there, and Ryan will be pushing you and carrying our bags. And
We'll just have like a radio flyer wagon like tied to the back of the thing.
Right. So I thought that was funny. So Ryan, we'll tag you in this clip. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Guess who's going to California against his will?
Yep.
You.
Sucker. Just kidding.
I actually talked, like, he said that he like, obviously it's a ways out, but he said he'd be interested. And, like, we were actually, like, looking at, because one of the things we both have wanted to do was just drive the one up to, like, Washington or whatever.
No kidding. That'd be cool.
So kind of what we were thinking was on the way down, like we go the way that we went or whatever, and then on the way up, we would just take a couple extra days and go up the one, and then
I will
across to, like, Montana.
1,000,000,000% let you take the drone.
So yeah, that'd be
One of my coworkers actually did that drive. She started at San Diego and ended up in Washington.
So yeah, it's like
but they took like 3 weeks.
You know what's insane is it's like 20 hours from Anaheim just to the top to where you would start coming back over.
Really?
It's like
it adds a lot.
Yeah, so like and we were thinking already, it's like because we did it in 2 days going out, and it's like we'd probably try and split it into like 3 or 4 maybe. And it's like, okay, well, it's like we take 4 days to get out there, and we're there for a minimum of 4 days, and it's gonna take like 6 days to get back. It's like I'm gonna have to take like all of my vacation time and like part of my sick time.
Do it. Totally worth it.
I'm just gonna take like all of like the last 2 weeks of August, the first week of September off.
Driving the coast in California is gorgeous.
So. Imagine what you could do though. You know, especially like, you know, you guys could make a blog about it or something. Either you can write about it or take pictures or like I said, do a video.
Vlog.
Yeah.
Why not?
So it'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that would be
like
really
so
cool.
we'll see. So he's kind of in for that, and I think that'd be kind of cool.
We still need to discuss the Lake Superior.
No, that's a classified.
That's classified.
Yeah, way to go.
Yeah,
Kara.
we need to discuss Lake Superior and how it's one of the biggest
wettest.
lakes.
How it's the biggest.
That's the wettest lake in the world.
The biggest and the wettest, yo.
Water's wet. People like grapes. There is no heavy water here.
You know,
go away.
Well, there's probably heavy water lower in the deeper parts of Lake Superior.
Well, isn't one of the Great Lakes has a heavy water thing on it? Like they get heavy water from it. I don't think it's Lake Superior. I don't know if it's Huron or Erie, but yeah, totally heavy water. Extra oxygen, extra hydrogen.
I can't remember exactly how the composition is. Well, no, if there's an extra oxygen, it's
H2O2
hydrogen peroxide.
So it's an extra hydrogen. It's H3O.
So
yep, heavy water, specifically used for cooling nuclear reactors.
Yeah, like something probably about like the density of it or something like that makes it better to heat transfer or something. I don't know.
I'm not a nuclear Isn't hydrogen scientist. Explosive?
Not hydrogen by itself, yeah, but
not when it's attached to it. It's so funny. Oxygen's flammable, hydrogen's flammable, but you put the two together and it's the opposite of flammable. It's inflammable, which is also flammable.
Yeah. I remember when I was in 7th grade, I was in Mr. Duffy's shop class, and I saw inflammable and was like, why is all that stuff you can set on fire?
Right, yeah.
Or whatever. And he's like, yeah, inflammable means you can start it on fire. And I was like, then what does flammable mean? Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Inflammable.
Yeah.
Unflammable.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys.
So what's the thing in the mail that showed up? Was it the tickets?
It was the ticket.
Okay.
So the ticket showed up.
I've already claimed it. There is one Star Wars ticket. Both of you got Star Wars tickets when we were at Disneyland.
Kara gets the Star Wars one.
I get the Star Wars
and
one.
You and I get Lightning McQueen, and you get
the Disney Princess Castle.
Disney Princess Castle.
Well, that's
ooh, so glamorous. I had all intents to talk about Mandalorian season 2. Got done wrapped filming. Mm-hmm. There's a new Star Wars game coming out.
Project Maverick.
Jedi Fallen Order has been, I think, verified for a sequel. So I had all these other Star Wars things to talk about, but I think we're probably running up there on time. So
I mean, we're at some minutes. We're at like 45 something.
If you can't tell, I am under the weather, so I should have been on the Star Wars Sicknesses podcast, but I was out of town. Kara's sick. Chris is sick of working.
I had the flu all week.
Yeah.
I had the mild flu. I had a fever of like 101-ish. And my work, they were like, don't even come in all week.
Well, I mean, you work in the health profession too, so it's like it's probably better for everybody if you don't go in. I think Jeremy told me you were taking your temperature with a meat thermometer.
So I'm going to spill the tea on that, all right? So that meat thermometer is more accurate.
You just used was slapping, Jeremy.
Oh, thanks. That slaps, huh? That meat thermometer is more accurate than the one I bought from Walgreens. A dedicated temperature thermometer. It makes you feel like you're going to die.
All thermometers are temperature thermometers.
Here's the thing. The medical thermometer that we got.
It's off calibration.
Told me that
is it under the tongue or an ear?
Under the tongue.
Okay.
It told me my temperature was 94. Hypothermia sets in at anything below 95.
Yeah. So according to that, Kara's already dead.
Yep.
And so that was really
Well, it
funny.
explains a lot of things.
Apparently, I'm a droid.
But the meat thermometer under the tongue has got a digital display. It totally works. It was like I was like 98 something, like 98.7 or 98.8. And then when Kara used it, she was at 100.1 and 100.5 or something. And so it was totally accurate. But she was like, "Get me a real thermometer."
Because it's pokey. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm going to get an under the tongue piercing, and I don't want one.
It's like, I guess it's really sharp, so you can like jab it into meat.
Yeah. 'Cause you really want to know the internal temperature of your meat. You just,
Yeah. 165, stay alive.
yep.
162, bad day for you.
You're going to have to go drop off something at the Sarlacc pit.
Go feed the Sarlacc.
Go feed the Sarlacc. That's what it is.
Gosh, you guys are ridiculous.
But I want to plug one of our things before we get going here, and that's just make sure you go check us out on Facebook because we really have had having a lot of fun doing these Star Wars Every Days.
Facebook.com/Rise of the Podcast.
Yeah, and you can see our Star Wars Every Days where we talk about a really cool Star Wars fact, and
activity or something cool happening in the community, just all sorts of stuff.
We reshot a whole bunch before we not reshot, but we shot a whole bunch before I left to try to make it, and we almost made it. So that was alternating Kara and I the entire time. But I learned stuff from 3 or 4 of the ones you guys made when I was gone.
Really?
So
Like which ones? Tell us in explicit detail.
Yeah, Jeremy.
let's see here. God, you put me on the spot, so now I'm maybe able to do it.
All right, that's fine.
I was about to do the Jeopardy theme song, and I was like, wait, nope, mine's
Can you name a couple that you shot?
No.
I've shot so many since you've left.
This just tangentially reminds me of I can't remember who was talking about it, but there's somebody that I follow on YouTube was talking about how people will bring up like the stuff that they've like made. It's like, oh, I'm such a fan of this episode or blah blah blah, and the people are like, I don't remember ever doing any of that because like you're so focused on the next stuff that you have to do.
That's exactly
it. In the course of like making it, it's a completely different process than consuming it. So like I forget, like people will comment stuff like Brad will comment like the species of Grievous was. Excuse me. We couldn't recall it at the time, and he like commented on the thing, and I totally forgot that I'd even asked.
Yeah. It is crazy. It's like, well, it makes me think of
Okay,
Sherlock.
Yeah.
Because like his thing is he doesn't. The reason he doesn't remember things long term is because he needs to learn new things, and so the unimportant things get flushed more or less.
Yeah.
The ones that really were like I did not know Ashley Boone Jr. That one you guys did, and then the Sith Wayfinders. I'd only ever seen him in The Rise of Skywalker. So your little history on him was really cool, and I had no idea about any of that stuff. So I thought that was really really cool.
Pergil, I think, are one of my favorite creatures in Star Wars.
They have hyperspace as an animal. How
They're
cool is that?
whales.
Yeah.
They're
And when you get done with
whales.
Clone Wars, Chris, you have to watch Rebels next. Rebels is really
That's
good.
where awesome Ahsoka. Like Snips is cool,
But
my
Fulcrum Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. I mean, she kicks butt.
and then
she
even-
kicks butt.
The history on Master Sinube was really good too. Like I'd seen the episode.
That's Chris's favorite Jedi.
Yeah, like the dude is just talk about like a character that really like shows you the value of patience.
Yes.
You know, so it's like I get a little bit of sort of like a Yoda vibe from him because like Yoda kind of slows everything down
Right.
or whatever to make people like sort of take their time or whatever. Like he does the same thing. Whereas, like he says this line right at the end is like the advantage of going slowly is you can always see where you're going.
Right.
You know, because Ahsoka is just always like, and just like Anakin, just like in
Yes.
it right now. Got to go do it.
Yep.
You know, and there's this sequence at the end of the thing where like he gets there ahead of Ahsoka. She's like, "How you?" It's like you're so slow, but you always get here ahead of me. And he's like,
Yeah.
"The advantage of going slowly is you always see the way."
That
And it's just
reminds me.
so cool. He's just awesome, and he's like
Yeah.
he's not in it that much. He's like that episode. He's just sort of in the background otherwise, but like just such a cool character.
Really, really cool character. And I don't know how they always do it, but so many shows play into that old wisdom character so well. And so Chris has been 100% on show recommendations for us. That was Gravity Falls, which I consumed in bulk while I was gone. And then
show.
Keith recommended, which we'll talk about when he's here, but Avatar. And I never wanted to watch it because the thumbnail was always a bald kid with an arrow. And I didn't think it would be that good. I love Avatar. It is a fantastic
I
show.
crushed that in less than a week. I
One
started
Punch
watching.
Man.
I started
One
watching.
Punch Man is fantastic. I started rewatch.
Box Lunch sells
we
One
gotta talk
Punch
about
Man
One Punch Man.
stuff. So I love that show.
Keep watching because we're apparently going to keep talking for a couple minutes. But anyways, Avatar. There's a character. He's an old man. Uncle is what they refer to him as. But,
Iroh?
Well, he's played by Mako. Is his name, but is it Iroh?
Zuko's uncle?
Zuko's uncle is Iroh?
Iroh. Mm-hmm.
Iroh, wisdom character, hilarious. He like just wants to eat and make tea, but when stuff starts to happen, he just drops wisdom bombs left and right.
He is
super smart and super
cool.
He's super funny, and love that character. And it just reminds me of Master Sonobe. But One Punch Man. All right, Derek, under the bus you go. Let's talk about this. Under the bus. Derek loves anime shows. Really, really loves them. And so he recommended to me a couple, and then I recommended to him One Punch Man. And his brother loves anime as well and loves One Punch Man. And his brother has been trying to get him to watch it forever. Mm-hmm. And I finally convinced him to watch it. And so he watched it, and he watched the first like 3 or 4 episodes. So he comes to work, and he's telling me, he's like, oh, this was really funny, and this was really funny, and oh, man, this was really funny. And I'm like, isn't it good? And he goes, no, it's not good. It's just funny. And I was like, if something invokes laughter in you and makes you laugh, how is it not funny?
Good.
Good. How is it not good?
Because you did tell me the story on the phone. I thought you said great. Like, isn't it great? He's
Yeah.
like, no, it's not great. It's just funny.
Oh yeah. It's just funny or whatever. Yeah, it's great. It's not great. It's good or whatever he said or whatever. And so he keeps watching it, and he keeps coming to work, and he keeps telling me these stories about this part happened and this part happened. Just really funny. And I said, Derek, isn't it just an awesome show? No, it's just funny. And it's like, dude, it's a great show. So I said, why is it not an awesome show to you then? And he goes, the story is lacking. It's just a guy who can defeat stuff with one punch.
He's missing the whole point. It's a satire of like the superhero genre. And it's in particular Japanese, anime superhero or super being and culture.
They play into like every other show does it takes it seriously.
Well, yeah, and it's all about like every other show is about getting to the next level of power. It's all about like hitting that next step. Every one of them, Naruto, Avatar, like learning how to do the different bending. All of them are about ascension to that next level of power. Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon.
Yes.
All of it is about getting better, right? And it's like it never gets to the point. It's like, what if there's nowhere else to go? You are at there literally is you cannot improve.
Right.
And it's like it's such a clever way to look at what happens.
And so reminiscing about just all the different scenes. But they do it. It's funny and it is awesome though. The animation, they switch between serious and then like funny parody.
When he's in serious mode or when he's in like derpy mode.
Yep. And then,
I know. He's just kind of
and then
average-looking guy.
Chiruncle when he's got the hairpiece on. And he's more. Everybody's trying to like just ultimate power to beat him, and then he's just holding down his hairpiece is all he's worried about. Or he fights that alien and it sends him to the moon, and then he lands on the moon, he jumps all the way back to Earth, and he's like, oh, finally somebody with a little bit of whatever. And it was really.
I love how invested into sales he is. Like, gotta get those sales.
It's so
when
good.
he's fighting Carnage Kabuto and he's gonna be late to get to the grocery store.
Was it eggs or lettuce?
I can't remember what it was.
Leeks. He really likes leeks or whatever. And then, but yeah, you've got Guru or whatever who like karate chops him. He's like, are you trying to rob me? And he just whack, and he completely just in one karate chop takes him down. And this show is fantastic. Season 1 is really, really good, and then season 2 it carries it on. I have to sneeze, so don't mind me.
Bless you.
Just point away from the mic.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, like, suck on the roof of your mouth.
Yeah, I will. You
Create
keep
pressure.
talking about One Punch Man while I sneeze over here.
I don't know.
So,
Well, Kara, okay, let me put it to you like this. I watched an episode. Kara was like the classic, like, look over. What are you watching? I'm like, oh, it's an anime. You wouldn't like it or whatever. And then Kara was like, I'll watch the next one with you. So it's funny. It's
hilarious. Genos is so funny. Like, he's just obsessed with Saitama.
Getting to that next level.
Like-
Yeah, so like he is like what you would expect, like the average like hero of the story to
Yeah.
be like, and that's why everyone treats him like this big ass rank hero,
Right.
Yeah.
Because he fits that conventional mold, and he's like he always loses, he always gets his butt kicked.
Yes.
He always
Right.
like some other enhancement, like it's brilliant writing.
And he just can't believe that Saitama got where he is by doing
That's the
100
favorite
sit-ups,
part.
100 push-ups, and running
100
fi-
squats and 10K
Something
and
like
then
that,
no
yeah.
AC.
Yeah, no AC or
Yeah,
heat.
yep.
But so Derek's biggest complaint, not enough Saitama. he doesn't like the other storylines, and I get it, but I thought they did a good job with it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I never thought I would be into any anime period whatsoever, and I realized that One Punch Man is kind of
Satirical or whatever.
Satirical, yeah.
Satirical.
makes fun of anime a little bit.
Well, so the biggest barrier for me is like all the ones that usually get suggested are like 600 episodes,
I
700
know.
episodes,
Yeah.
and it's like an insurmountable amount of content to have to deal with.
Yes.
So it's like when you get something that's a little bit smaller or a little bit newer or something that has a definitive ending after a couple of series or something. That's the stuff that I like to
Invest in.
Invest in, yeah.
There's oh crap, what's it called? I think like Magi or something like that. It's spelled Magi. I think there's like 3 or 4 seasons on Netflix. It's really
Oh.
good.
We'll have to check that one out. But yeah, we watched Avatar, and then we tried to start Legends of Korra, which are like a sequel-ish to Avatar, take place in the same universe. But we'll go back to it, and then the Dragon Prince has one of the voice actors from. It's a Netflix original, and it's
Sokka.
good. It's good. It's got Sokka, the water, not bender, but fighter guy, and it's
The water tribe.
good. It's fun, and so I've enjoyed that. And then yeah, Netflix is a lot of cool stuff. I just wish there wasn't so many streaming services.
I know. And is it Hulu?
That was like episode 27.
I know it was.
I think it's Hulu. We have like probably 4 or 5 different shows saved
Yes, we do.
that
have
we
a
want to
lot.
watch.
If you have any shows that you want to recommend to us to watch, and if you haven't watched One Punch Man, go watch One Punch Man. And Gravity
Avatar.
Falls and Avatar.
Yeah.
Go watch
Legends of
those
Korra
shows.
is okay. So it's just it takes place kind of in a steampunky kind of
Era where Avatar was all old buildings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you gotten through any more regular show at all?
I have not, but I do want to watch that one. So that one's tough. Same thing. There's so many episodes of it. There's like 200 some episodes or something.
It's pretty much
But-
dropping. You can drop in and drop out of it and not really worry about missing.
Right.
There's a little bit of inside joke stuff that happens every now and then, but they're pretty isolated.
But they're 12 minutes, right?
Yeah.
That's easy to consume. So that's what I like is if I got 15, 20 minutes, what do you watch? Well, you can throw on a regular show. So I think we'll probably just have Kara watch that one with me. And we'll watch that too. So
I think if you get more into Adventure Time, that's really great too. You just
I
gotta
know. I got to get
indoctrinated
gotta
in
ride
the environment.
Got to ride the storm.
A show that I've been told we have to watch, and I have also been told it's completely inappropriate, is Letterkenny.
Oh man, Letterkenny's funny. You're
I-
freaking soft,
It's
dude.
just-
You're freaking soft. You're 10
It's
ply, bud.
it's just Trailer Park Boys again.
Yeah.
To me.
Wait,
But
so you've
Canada.
seen
I've
no,
seen
Trailer
not-
Park Boys
is
is in
it,
Canada.
I've seen the
is it
highlight.
UK or is it Canadian?
No, it's
It's
Canadian.
Canadian, but Trailer Park Boys is also in Canada.
Canadian, yeah. It's I've seen the like people post the highlights to Facebook and YouTube and whatever. So I've seen the highlights. I know enough about it to
I've had quite a few people tell me to watch Letterkenny.
yeah.
I didn't like. It's the same thing. Like so, Trailer Park Boys. Like I watched a little bit of it. It's like it's fine, but it's like
I had no
I
desire
don't
to
feel
watch.
like I'm missing anything by not seeing it.
Right.
Yeah, I had no desire to watch that show at
So.
all. Period. Ever. Like,
Watch a bunch of people were typing out. You should watch Letterkenny. And
Yeah.
They were like, no desire. None of us, no desire.
No, I'd rather like watch South Park or something good.
Sadly. I apparently I do a really good Cartman, but I don't know if I can do it when I'm sick. But
No, we'll save that.
we'll save it. But
At the $5 a month Patreon subscription,
right?
Right.
He does a
Dude,
good
we do.
3PO. I'm not like you did a really good 3PO on the way here.
Kara's crazy. I love the one where Cartman asked for an iPad. Have you seen that one?
I'm sure that I have.
We'll talk about it afterwards. But anyways, Chris and Kara, I'm back. Isn't it fun to have me back?
I was like, you know what? This is gonna be like a lot harder to edit than the other ones. There's one camera. All I had to do was just slap the stuff onto the end.
That's why we want to go live.
I make things simple for Chris.
And then the reason why I brought up Star Wars every day, which the people that were watching then probably aren't watching now, but is I might want to add to them or make them a little bit. I want to include real stories from people and their experiences about Star Wars, stuff you can't go find on Wikipedia or Star Wars Data Bank or something that we can produce for people who can't produce it and tell their stories in a fun way.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think that would
maybe
be really cool.
like maybe it's a evolution, or maybe it just ends up being its own thing, like
Right.
Star Wars stories or something.
Yeah.
Right. Either one. But I've got to put together the form on where to put it and things like that. But anyways,
Yep,
I'm glad
all
to be
sorts of
back.
things.
We're glad you're back.
I'm honestly indifferent about your return.
You're so funny.
Like it's okay, I guess.
For $1,000 a month Patreon streamers, you can see the exclusive fight between Chris and I after this.
What everybody doesn't know is we have a boxing ring out back.
Yeah, exactly.
So in Jeremy's weekend state, I feel like I might have a chance.
There you go.
This is the only time it'll happen.
Just body slam him, just go.
Jeremy dying of Ebola versus me in peak fitness.
Yes. So, all right, that's all I have. Chris, are you going to take us out?
Oh, I suppose. If you made it this far into the video, you guys are saints. Because, like, we're approaching somewhere in the realm of, like, an hour at this
Link
point.
your Patreon and we'll come subscribe.
So, if you made it this far, why not throw a like on the video? We appreciate it. Comment, subscribe. There's all those things. What would really actually help us out, just watch another one of our videos. It's like, check something else out. Maybe all you do is watch a podcast. Maybe you want to check out like our analysis of the Star Wars movies. Those are pretty cool. Or maybe a Lego build, games, all sorts of cool content. Just watch another thing. That'd be awesome. It's like, we appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for watching. And of course,
May the force be with you.